Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. It's January the 2nd, 2023. I'm just haven't done much work lately. It's been a bit cold and had the New Year and Christmas and things like that, so been taking it easy. There's my welding cart that I made, which I'm pleased with. There's my leveler that I modified, which I'm pleased with. Here's the engine that I have put together with the repaired crank that hasn't run yet. I'm just about got to the point where I'm prepared to bring the truck into the garage and pull the motor. There's nothing wrong with the motor that's in it, but I want to run this motor. I want to be able to run it and drive it on the road, and putting it in the truck is my quickest and easiest and best way to do that. I've had the motor in and out of the truck a few times, so I know how to go about doing it. I'm not going to put it in the sedan, I'm going to put it in the truck. Now, I normally gloss over the engine swap, but to be honest, I might as well just go through it bit by bit, showing the things you need to do for anybody else contemplating a similar job. So I think the engine swap on the truck might make a little series in itself, little mini series in itself. Okay, as always, I will bring you back when there's more to show. First rule of doing an engine swap, not first rule, but first hint, drain the engine outside. And what I've done, I brought the truck around and I've started draining it while I've been moving things around. So that's been draining while I've been doing this, so that's saved me a little bit of time. Plus, if you spill something outside, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're not going mad with it. But so I'll swap that washing bowl out now and put another one there to catch the rest of it. Okay, hint number one, start draining the vehicle so it's draining while you're doing other things. Okay, back in a bit. First thing, disconnect the battery. The water's just about finished draining, so I'm going to take the hoses off, the top hoses, get those off, and I'll do those out here, and I'll probably undo the bottom hoses as well. So battery disconnect, hoses off, and then maybe radiator out. Hello, right, it's not very much later. I've taken the radiator out, and to enable me to do that I did a couple of things to make it easier. This is purely from experience from the last time I did it. The first thing I did was reposition that horn. The horn used to be kind of here, but that's where you need to get to the bolt for the radiator. There. Those are the bolts for the bumpers down there. As I've said before, if you're taking the bumper off and you want to take them off there, take the radiator out first so you've got better access to those bolts. There's the radiator bolt, and these are the bumper bolts in there. The other thing that I did, I got two rubber rings and joined them together and just lifted these hoses up. That saves them getting caught on the water pump pulleys as you lift the radiator out. So that's, and there's the other hoses as well, and that one's for that side and this one's for this side, so I don't get them mixed up. And the battery's been taken all the way out. Righto. One of the next things is to undo the hood braces and tie the hood back with a ratchet strap. Then it's a case of going around and disconnecting everything. But now the truck is in the garage, I can just tinker away with this to my heart's content. Okay, I'll bring you back at the next significant stage. Cheers then, bye. On this truck I have to get my engine hoist in here, and I have to take the bumper off and this piece out. The last time I did this job I thought about a couple of things that might make it easier for next time, and I'll show you what those things are. First of all, I freed up and replaced the bolts in the bumpers, the bumper bolts. These are new bolts here. So instead of taking the blades off, which always have a job realigning them, and you have to do it underneath the truck, I'm going to leave the blades in place and take the bumper off the blades and leave the blades there. And the second thing is this piece here, it has two bolts at the bottom, but then those bolts have got nuts in between the centerpiece and the lower piece. So when I take these two screws out, this just lifts out. So I'll take the bumper off and that piece out, and that will get me the next little stage along. I took the bumper off quite easily, and this piece, I've just taken those two screws out, and what you can see there is that those two bottom bolts are just captive with the nuts there, so they just poke into the holes down there, and then it fits like that. Saves a lot of messing about, especially when it saves lying on your back on the floor where there's a load of water. So there we are, a little bit of progress. I will continue and bring you back when there's something relevant to show. I'm going to get the mats out. To do that, I have to take the pedal pads off. These pedal pads have a 1/4 NPT thread on them. So you grab them and turn them to the left. Hang on. Grab. Turn. Grab. Turn. Did I show that first one? So there's the pedal pads off. Now the mat should kind of just come off. I'll try and do it and show you. Probably a bit of a two-handed job really, but because the weather's cold, I don't really want to risk ripping the mat, but let's see if I can just do it. Okay, you got to hook it out from under the front pedal. Like that. Hook it round from there. Get it from there. Bring it backwards. Get it off there. It's easier in the summer when it's more pliable. There we go. There's that one. And then this one just lifts up. I did used to have these screwed down, but when I put this motor in, I kind of knew it wouldn't be in for very long, so I never bothered to screw anything down. I didn't even screw this down. Look. Get that out. There we are. So there's the gearbox. A bit leaky. But anyway, there it is. So you can see the bolts there that hold the gearbox to the engine. So I'm going to disconnect the throttle pedal and start looking at the engine mounts and things. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, engine mounts are out. Just took those out. And the next sort of thing to do, I think, is to jack it up and take the exhaust off. But before I do that, I think I will disconnect anything I can find up on top here that I can disconnect. So I'll go around and do that. Sort of coil, ignition. I'll probably take the distributor cap off. I have to undo that there. The fuel, these. I'll probably take this off. Might take the carb off. Can't quite remember if I have to do that. Yeah, I might do that because of the height and lift issues that you can have. on these. Yeah, I think I'll take everything off the top and take those off and disconnect everything that I can think of. There's a tricky oil sender fitting down there. Can you see? I can't quite see what's on the down there. And it's easier to get at that when the engine is sort of part way out. But you have to remember to remove it, and it's always best if you can remember to fit it as well when it's halfway in. But I will continue to remove things. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, the distributor cap and leads are off. I've disconnected everything I can there. I've taken the fuel pump off and the fuel pipe, and I'm just about to take the carburetor off, but I thought I'd just point the camera at it before I do that. Sometimes, you know, it's nice to just show a logical progression of things, isn't it? I've disconnected the carburetor on this side. I haven't took the choke rod off. I will do though. And then once these are off, I can jack it up and get underneath and take all the exhausts off. Okay, back in a bit. I'll be a bit clumsy doing this, but one of the things that helps a lot is to unhook that spring from the throttle pedal. You can do it with a screwdriver sometimes. Let me see if I can do it with this. Probably won't be able to do it. Oh, I did it. Yeah, that's it. There you go. That allows that to sit up there. That allows that to sit up there. And that means that when you come to put the motor in, it isn't getting tangled up with this. You have to remember to put that back on afterwards though, of course. Anyway, okay, that's it. That's more or less it. So underneath, exhaust's off, and then bell housing bolts out. The other thing is, what you call it, anti-chatter rod as well. Don't forget that. So yeah, we're getting there slowly, bit by bit. Okay, back in a bit. I've got a clamp there, and I've got a clamp there and a bolt there, and a couple of bolts up there somewhere. Yeah, you can see them. And then I have to take that one, those two off up there, if you can see it, to get that cross piece off. I've got to undo that one there as well. Look, that's on the starter motor. Okay, righto, back in a bit. Okay, I'm underneath. I've got that exhaust off, and it doesn't want to come out, so I've kind of left it there. I've got the starter cable off, and I've undone that side. That side's undone, and this side's undone on the crossover pipe, right up there. And the one that's at the forward end, which is that one up there, is really difficult to get on. You have to kind of come up from here at an angle with a universal joint. But I have got them off. I think I would do better if that manifold had the exhaust further back, which would help me a lot, to be honest. But that isn't the way it is. In other words, I can get on those two over there easy, but I can't get on these two easily in this application. So that should come off. There we are. Let that just fall down out of the way. I am working with gloves on, but I take them off when I get the camera out to, you know, so getting the camera all messy. Right out. I've got to undo that nut up there, that one. So I will see how to do that. Righto, back in a bit. Hello, right, we're underneath, and I've taken out those two bolts there. That one and that one. And the one that is up there, that one. And I didn't have one in over here. So I didn't have to take that one out. You see the gearbox is leaking oil. Gearbox torque tube. Don't appear to have anything in the way of a speedo drive either. Hey ho. So it's just the bolts on the inside then, and then it can be lifted out. I think I'll probably put it back down on the floor to lift it out. I might not, I might leave it like this. I'm just trying to go through the logical stages, you know, to describe each job for somebody who's using this as a guide. Okay, back in a bit. I'll put the engine leveler on. I'm an idiot, aren't I? I put that on, and I was really struggling. I had to put a pair of ladders here and lean over. So I've got that in place. I was thinking it'd be easier if it was down on the ground. Then I've just realised I can't go in with this because the axle stands are in the way. So I've got to take it off the axle stands anyway. Oh well. I say, you know, you live and learn every time, don't you? Every time you do something, you live and learn. I've picked up a few little pointers and things that have made this job go better than before. And that's another thing, isn't it? To jack it up when you do the exhaust and take the bolts out the bottom and the anti-chatter rod off, but then put it back down on the ground. Okay, right, let's get those axle stands out then and carry on. Right, so I've got the engine halfway out, and I'm interested to see if it will come out without having to pull the bonnet up further. I don't think it will, but I just wanted to show that I've just leant in there and undone that there. It's very difficult to get at when it's in place down there, but when it's up here like this, it was very easy. So well worth connecting this while there's good access to it there. So that will come undone now. There, that's off now. Okay, so that just gets tucked out of the way, and I can continue to lift it out. Okay, let's see if that will come out. I doubt whether it will, but let's just give it a go. Yeah, okay. I'm already fouling on the hood now, and you can see it needs to come up quite a bit higher. I've also had to put the leveler to the one side of the boom because it's foul in there. I'm just curious to see if that's enough or if I need to undo the bracket. Okay, I just need a tiny bit more lift on the hood. It nearly went, needs about an inch. So I'll slacken it a tiny bit, and then I will undo the brackets on the side. You know, the stays. I don't know if everybody knows the secret of how to lower a ratchet gently I'm only saying that because I mentioned it to a friend of mine and he thought, no, all you can do is let it go and it goes bang and that's it. But you can lower them down one click at a time. So what I'll do, I'll take a little bit of footage separately where it's a little bit more convenient, and I'll show you how to do it, just in case there's anybody that doesn't know. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. You probably can't see it, can you? Is it going out of shot? Yeah, it's just down there. I'll leave it like that for now, because I've been out here quite a while and I'm going to go and have something to eat. Okay. Righto, I'll call that a job well done then. I'm not sure how long it's took me, but bear in mind I've been filming as well, so stopping for filming. Probably a couple of hours, maybe a little bit longer, maybe about 3 hours. But I don't tend to rush. I just do things at a you know, comfortable pace. Put my gloves over the inlet manifold hole. Okay, righto. I will bring you back when there's more to show. Hello, I'm back in the garage and I've just been moving things about a little bit. The engine came out of the truck yesterday. That engine is sitting there and I've taken the exhaust manifolds off it. The idea that I have in my mind is that I want to try and improve the situation with the exhaust manifolds in the car. That side's undone and this side's undone on the crossover pipe right up there. And the one that's at the forward end, which is that one up there, is really difficult to get on. You have to kind of come up from here at an angle with a universal joint. But I have got them off. I think I would do better if that manifold had the exhaust further back, which would help me a lot, to be honest. So I've got this block, and I think what I want to do is tip it upside down, lift it up, put it on something, maybe a workmate, put an oil pan on it and the manifolds, and see if I can do something to improve the run of the crossover pipe. Just use an old fan belt there to lift it through the centre. If you look at these exhaust manifolds, this is the one that I had on there, and it appears to be fairly big diameter. 21A, that says 21A. Okay, I don't know what that, well, 21A, that's early, isn't it? But if you see where that's located, then look at this one. Can you see that this one is located further back? Well, I think that will give me better access, so I'm going to use this one instead. I just need to salvage a stud. I think I've repaired this. I think I've repaired this one, because that's a head stud. That one's a bit loose actually, but it will take a stud. Or will it? Yeah, it will. So I'll prepare a couple of studs to put in there, unless I've got a better one. Let me have a look, see if I've it will enable me to get on that bolt a lot easier than I do at the moment. I've got another one which needs this part taking off, but it doesn't look in bad condition. It looks okay. So I think the best thing to do will be to bolt it onto the block there, and then that will be held while I'm trying to undo these. Interesting that they're two different sizes there. I have recently got some propane gas, so I'm going to try using propane oxygen to heat these up and get them undone. Now I'm not very well up on using oxypropane. I don't really know much about it, but I have had this torch lit with it before. It took a bit of light in it, took a bit of keeping it going, so I'll give it a go. I trod on the hose then and it changed the flame. Well, that came off okay, didn't it? And that one. I'll get my favourite troll bait hammer. Daft as it sounds, that gasket's probably usable. Copper asbestos, you know, old fashioned. I was going to use this and the thing, but it might, I don't know, just try it. I don't want it going off skew with. Just going to put my air defenders on. Gotta find them first. think these fell into this manifold and its partner fell into the too cheap to walk past category at a swap meet, but I think that's a perfectly serviceable manifold now. Well, there's the pipe, it doesn't quite fit. So I will have a look at this and decide what I'm going to do. Okay, I'll go and do some cutting. Got to shorten it by about 3/8 of an inch. That'll do. I'll clean them up a bit and put some washers and nuts on and then tack it, and then I'll probably gas weld it, or I might MIG it. There's still a angle to the pipe because of the you know, offsetting the banks. I was a bit naughty yesterday. I just left all the nuts and bolts under the truck, so I've got to go and find them all now. These are some special thick washers that I made so that the nuts try not to get caught up in the weld bead. Well, I've got 4 washers and 4 nuts, so I will go and clean them up a bit better. Kind of fits, doesn't it? Within the realms of, you know, that'll do it. I need to clean some of the weld burrs away from the inside as well. Maybe I could do that after. Okay, I'm dicking around now, aren't I? I think I'll just touch them together, tack them with the MIG, not worry about gaps, but then just go and weld it all up. But I think that'll be okay, won't it, like that? Right, where's my plug? Here it is. Had a bit of a cold lately. I'll probably run out of energy soon. Okay, one tack. Okay, right, so a little bit of a bend in there, but that's all right because I wanted to kind of take up a little bit of the offset. If you lied. Okay, I will take it off and I'll try and weld it up. I'll use my little cart. So the thing's getting a bit too hot to hold. Don't know if it make a difference, it being wet. Okay, it's not pretty. I say that every time I do a bit of welding. It's not pretty. Let's see if I've missed any. Well, I think I'm going to grind it a bit, and then because it really is messy, and then look for any bits that I might have missed. Well, there's the pipe anyway. It's not great. I've got a bit of high temperature paint here. It might be possible to have this in a certain configuration where you can get the engine in and out of the car with this in place, but I don't think I've got that. I tried it once and it was really difficult. I just warmed it up with a air gun, you know, hot air gun. Looks a bit better. Ooh, hot. I think that'll be okay. Okay, so that's just a little side job on the engine swap to make this so it's easier to put in and out when it's in the vehicle. So I can put that to one side now. I can take these manifolds off, put this block back into storage, and put the sump away, and when I'm ready to, which might be tomorrow, I will start, you know, fitting these manifolds and things to the engine that's going in the truck. Just a little diversion there, a simple little job, and as always it always takes a lot longer than you expect, but I did recover that manifold. I mean, that manifold, you know, took a little bit of heat, plus the oxypropane worked well, I thought, and it's much cheaper to run than oxyacetylene, so that's a good little test. That'll do for today because I've got a little bit of a cold and I'm starting to feel a bit tired, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll do a bit more when I feel up to it. Okay, thanks very much for joining me in the garage then. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then. Bye.